In my nearly 7 years with this organization, I've been inspired by the many stories of impact that this program has on people. It's one thing to hear it from me, and a very different thing to hear it firsthand from program participants themselves. In that spirit, I'm very honored to introduce someone this evening who has been deeply involved in the Partners organization for several decades. We've kept him in our orbit, and we're so grateful for all the work that he does for the Partners community. He's a mentor to many of us on our professional journeys, a dedicated husband and father to his family, a contributing community member, and an advocate for the nonprofit sector. He understands the impact of investing in youth and the far-reaching power of mentoring. He's excited to share his story with you all this evening, so please welcome Chris Imsland.
Thank you, Ms. I do take offense to several decades. I'm just going to say that. Several decades sounds, we'll see. Okay, Taryn. Wow, okay, that was a lot. That was a lot, so we're going to slow it down a little bit. I want to talk about the mission and mentoring. Some of you know me, some of you don't. We're going to get to that in a minute. But I want to talk to you about my mentee. I first met Ryan, and we learned quite frequently and often that we had a lot in common. Food, football, humor, movies, playing basketball, lifting weights at the gym, we connected right away. It was Halloween in 2000, we were matched in a mentoring partnership. I was 28, he was 11. He lived in a female household, had trouble in and out of school. His mom and grandma wanted Ryan to have a male role model in his life. We were matched and fully supported by Partners from 2000 to 2007. Consistent support. We're going to see a little bit about this right now. I do like working with kids. It surprised me though, because probably 5 years ago I would say no, I'm not working with kids, and I'm too busy and just don't have the time. But over the past couple of years, I thought it's a great idea to get back and also to learn from a child as well.
Chris has taught me a lot of things, like what he did in Wisconsin, and told me about his lifestyle and how he played sports and he got bullied by a lot of kids.
I think, especially for me, the most important thing I've gained from this is just an understanding of kind of what it's like to be young, and seeing him go through some things that I went through when I was younger, but didn't realize all that was going on, and that maybe by me going through it, I can get them some guidance to a degree. But he teaches me a lot as well. He teaches me to be patient and just have fun, not be so serious, and let loose. So
I got suspended once, I think last year, and he told me, just try not to do it again. I'm not telling you not to, just it'd be cool if you don't, and I'll give you something. So I didn't get in trouble anymore that year. So
he's incredible. I mean, he's mature, he's polite.
Keep in touch with him, because he's really nice, and he's fun.
Well, I'd like to say thank you for being a good partner, for hanging out with me, and for wanting to be with me next year. Because after this year is up, I think we're going to be buddies for a long time. So I don't see this ending anytime soon. And thank you. I suppose we owe Partners a thanks too for matching us up.
Yeah.
They did a good job on that.
Yeah.
What do you say to me?
Thanks for having me over to your house. Well, I remember one time we baked the pizza together.
Yeah.
It was big, but we put tons of cheese on it, but it didn't last. The cheese was like this thin. I can't believe it.
Food. He's big on food. Anything we do with food, it's happy, it's easy. Time commitment is always the first thing. And I think that it's not an issue. I think anyone can have 3 hours a week with someone. It's fun. It's not work. It's not something difficult. It's a time to go let loose with somebody. And I would encourage everyone to do it. You learn not only from the child, but the child learns from you. And who knows, 10 years down the road, what our relationship will be like. I hope I'm in contact with them, and I think he feels the same way. Yeah. that was 2000. It feels like it was like 1974 or something. The music also, like 2000, wasn't like Justin Timberlake having hit songs? Or, I don't know. It just seems archaic. But anyway, thanks partners for finding that. That's awesome. Gee, I wonder why I'm here. Okay, so obviously from that, we good? Okay. As you can see from the video, I do believe in mentoring. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. I joined Partners as a mentor because I had mentors growing up. In fact, I had mentors at every stage of my life that had profound impact on my life. My wife, my parents, generous professionals who helped guide me in my professional career. A board member who gave lasting advice, he's not here, but he was, on how to balance my time with my young family when I was a new dad. One mentor of mine was pretty important. I was not much older than Ryan in that video. I know you can't tell right now, but I was a pretty small kid growing up. Really small kid growing up. Sixth grade looking in ninth grade. It led to teasing and bullying in ninth grade. I remember walking to class during the first week of school. I wasn't exactly sure where I was going as in ninth grade. As I headed down the stairs, a group of seniors were coming up the stairs. They hassled me, asked if I was in kindergarten, threw my books down the stairs, and then threw me down the stairs. Not a great start to ninth grade and not a big confidence builder for me. After a few more run-ins, I finally started to find my way. I found some new friend groups, played some sports. And I can't exactly remember when it was, but I started wrestling. And I met a guy named Jerry, my wrestling coach. He was small like me, but he had this real strong confidence about him. He had lived, he'd experienced things, and he was small. He didn't care. I remember he telling me that all the stuff in high school is temporary, and the world will open up once you get out of this. Don't worry about it. I just need to have this perspective. I remember this one wrestling match where I lost to a kid I should have easily beaten. At least I think I should have. I just made a wrong move at the wrong time, and I got pinned. It was really embarrassing. I was the captain of the wrestling team. I wasn't supposed to lose to this kid. Jerry made a note to show me the video the next day, that practice, and he spent the next hour with me going through that move and saying, "You're not going to do this again. Trust me, we're going to get through this." He saw in me part of him. He knew what I was going through, and he helped me focus on things that I could control, like a wrestling move, to help me build confidence. He spent the next 3 years in small ways to help me be a better wrestler, but really just to be more confident. So I guess it's no surprise also that I believe in prevention and community building. I believe in getting in front of something, being proactive, and providing a spark. Mentoring does that. It works to get in front of community issues, to meet youth where they are, and provide them with support and tools for success. Mentoring creates connections in groups of people that would not otherwise typically exist. Recent research from economists we all know him, Raj Cherry, found there's one single factor outside genetics that influences a child's success as an adult. That single factor is saturation of positive role models that surround them when they're growing up. Partners creates the best kind of community, one with positive role models for the kids who need them the most. So we're going to get a photo here of something, right? Again, 2000 graphics. This you know what? Simple, straightforward. 2000, we got it. So when I think of mentoring, I do think of this three-legged stool. The stool includes donor, mentor, youth, and their family. Each leg has a role and works as a foundation. It's strong, balanced, and functional. For mentoring to work, each leg needs to participate and be involved and engaged. As a result, the legs, or people, are connected to one another. Together they create a sense of belonging, a sense of community between mentors, mentee, and family members, and donors who give generously like a lot of you tonight. This sense of belonging strengthens community bonds. It is happening in this room right now. We're all focused on supporting youth, supporting prevention, and community building. While mentoring Ryan, I did get more involved with partners. I started with committees, I served on the board, thank you board members, and I was executive director for a few years. There's another one in the room, Gordon. Raise your hand, please. Lauren Thibodeau, previous executive director. I feel like I've been pretty fortunate to be a part of partners in the community that we build. See a lot of new faces, quite honestly, which is really awesome for me personally. So together tonight, we all get a say in how we support partners. I'm not making a fundraising pitch, which is weird because I make a lot of fundraising pitches, but I'm not doing that. What I'm going to ask you is this. I'm going to ask you to stay open-minded about what this could look like for you. You never know. You start here, but you never know where you're going to end. Speaking of Ryan, you got that? I want that photo now, actually. God, those good-looking guys. So there's more to our story. I want to tell you that we've stayed in touch and stayed close. The truth is we have not. And we lost touch, and we lived different lives. This March, I was working out at the gym with my 11-year-old daughter. I saw a man playing basketball with a boy about my daughter's age. It reminded me of the days that Ryan and I would play basketball at the gym and talk. It was a familiar scene, memories flooded back, and I believe the universe has a way of putting you right where you need to be sometimes. The scene was obviously familiar, because that man was Ryan. He was 33, he is 33, and he's hanging out with his son, who is 11, the same age I was when he was when I was mentoring him. We hugged, we introduced our kids, which is crazy. We exchanged numbers, and we just recently caught up over, of course, pizza. I told him my life, and he told me about his. So the plan was to get him here tonight. The reality is, life gets in the way, and he couldn't be here. So I'm speaking on his behalf a little bit. So we've had different lives in the past decade. I feel like in the last 10 years, I've had a pretty amazing life. I feel really fortunate about that. I don't have all his details. I'm still regrouping. But he had a lot of dark days. He wasn't able to see his son or manage his life. He had an incident that was going to put him in some pretty big trouble, actually, for a while, but someone gave him a second chance, and he took it. He doesn't know why he took it, but he took it. For the past 3 years, this guy has stayed sober and worked really hard at staying sober, and I wish he was here. We could say that to him. He found a job he excels at. He's running and training for races. He's a monster. He's amazing. He keeps busy to stay focused. Most importantly, he spends time and quality time with his son. He wants to be there for him because he knows what it's like not to have a dad in his life. But he did have me, and he had partners, support staff and program staff all the way through from 2000 to 2007. He said he's using our experience together to help him be a better dad. They do some of the things that we do together, actually, like basketball. When I saw him, this is actually last night, I was like, look, you can't be here, but I need a photo. People won't believe this. He told me last night that what we did mattered. What we did made a difference in his life. What we did stuck with him. I could stop here and tell you how much an impact I made on Ryan. But the reality is, in 2000, that handsome young 28-year-old was struggling. I had just moved to Colorado. I was trying to find a job, and I couldn't. I had a couple of friends here. And I was wondering if I could make it, honestly, in Fort Collins. I met Anna Dickerson at a CSU volunteer recruitment booth. She recruited me, and she matched me with Ryan. I'm grateful for it. The organization helped me find friends, connections, and community. Partners gave me purpose. Ryan gave me purpose. He grounded me. He motivated me. He deepened my appreciation for mentoring. He also kind of got me into nonprofits. I'm a nonprofit consultant right now, and I wouldn't be doing this without him. He helped me understand what it meant to show up, to be better, and to focus. A little bit like my wrestling coach. Sometimes the work you do today is not seen for years. Maybe not even understood for years. I know I didn't. You need time to pass to have perspective. But when you eventually see it play out, like I'm seeing it play out, I gotta tell you, it's pretty powerful. I am where I am in life thanks to some amazing mentors, but I am where I am in life thanks to this kid. I know we're gonna be together for a long time. I know we're gonna stay connected. I know I've made an impact on him. And I know he's made a profound impact on me in my life. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.